Good morning, everyone. Welcome to English class. I am teacher Annalyn and our lesson for today is about nouns. We will also tackle the different types of nouns and its functions. So our learning objectives for today are: first, students will be able to identify the types and functions of nouns. Next, students will be able to apply it in their own sentences. And lastly, students will be able to master the topics for future tasks. Okay, so before we start our lesson, let us have first our activity. It is called List o Manya. You are going to list down what you know about nouns, and you can also list an example of a noun, and then you will going to share to your classmates the nouns that you have listed on your paper. Okay, so now that you are done with your first activity, we will going to discuss the nouns. So first, let us define noun. Noun is a word or a name used to identify a person, place, object, an idea, and more. And this image alone, we can already identify a lot of nouns. For example, for person, girl, or if this girl has a name, Anna. For place, room. For things, laptop or notebook. Can you give your own example? I am sure you can find a lot of nouns here. You can pause this video and practice. So what are the different types of nouns? Common noun is a name for something which is common for many things, person, or places. Proper nouns are specific names which refers only to a single person, place, or thing. For example, phone is a common noun, Vivo is a proper noun, school is a common noun, St. Gabriel Academy is a proper noun, teacher is a common noun, Teacher Manuel is a proper noun. Always remember that proper noun always begin with a capital letter, not unless they are brands that start their names with a small letter like iPhone or iMac. Next, we have concrete nouns and abstract nouns. Concrete nouns refers to the things we see and have physical existence. For example, books, chairs, and table. On the other hand, abstract nouns refers to ideas, qualities, and conditions. For example, love, faith, and hope. Next, we have countable noun and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns can be counted, while uncountable nouns cannot be. Countable nouns have plural form like cat to cats, apple to apples, and book to books. It answers the question, how many? On the other hand, uncountable nouns do not have a plural form like water, rice, and sugar. It answers the question, how much? To express the quantity of uncountable nouns, you can use expressions like some, a lot of, a little, a bag of, or any exact measurement. For example, a glass of water, a sack of rice, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Next is collective noun. Collective noun is a noun used to describe a group of people, animals, or things. For example, an army of ants, a crowd of people, a bunch of geese, etc. A compound noun is when you use two or more words as a single noun. This can be written as one word, separate nouns, or hyphenated words. For example, mother-in-law, bus stop, grandfather, etc. So now that you already know the different types of nouns, we are now going to discuss the different functions of nouns. Nouns function in different ways. First is noun as subject of verb. A noun function as the subject of verb if it is the one being talked about in the sentence or if it is the doer of the action. For example, the man stepped on my toes. The class went on a trip. Man and class are nouns that act as subject because they are the one who performs the action. Here, the subject is easily recognized as it usually comes out at the beginning of a sentence and is followed by a verb. Next is noun as direct object. Nouns function as direct object if it receives the action in the sentence and answers the question what, who, or whom. For example, they administered the test. What did they administer? Test. Test received the action administered, therefore, test functions as a direct object. Next is noun as indirect object. It refers to someone or something that is affected by the action of a verb, but it is not the one who receives the action. Do not be confused, okay? So to determine the indirect object, ask the question to whom, to what, or for whom, or for what. For example, Dawn made her a cake. To whom did Dawn make a cake? To her. Therefore, her functions as the indirect object of the sentence. Next is noun as subject complement. It is a word or phrase that follows a linking verb and identifies or describes the subject. It provides us more information about the subject. The pattern here is subject plus linking verb plus subject complement. For example, Mr. Evans is my teacher. Teacher is a noun that complements or describes Mr. Evans and it comes after the linking verb is. Therefore, teacher acts as the subject complement. Next is the positives. A noun function is a positives if it gives details about the nouns and is enclosed in commas. It is set beside another noun or pronoun to explain or identify it. Example, the LET, a professional examination, is conducted every year. Professional examination gives details to the LET, therefore it functions as an appositive. Next, noun as object of preposition. Noun functions as an object of preposition if it follows the preposition in a sentence. For example, May left her notebook on the table. Table is a noun that comes after the preposition on, therefore it functions as an object of preposition. Next, nouns of direct address means that the noun is used to refer to someone directly. It is used to indicate that a speaker is directly addressing a person or a group. For example, Allison, did you like the concert? It shows us that the speaker is talking directly to Allison and the speaker is using her name to get her attention and to show that the question is meant for her. So now that we have finished discussing the lesson, I will give you an activity. So here is our first activity and it is called flashcard game. The students have their own set of flashcards with a series of questions about nouns and the answers are written at the back of the card. You will be paired and you will quiz each other with flashcards. If the student got the correct answer, he or she will receive a chips that is equivalent to a recitation point. If wrong, the student will tutor his or her partner and the card will return to stack to try again later. Next is we are going to make a word wall. The word wall will be displayed at the back of the classroom and there will be a column that contains the different types of nouns and each student will write a noun on the word wall after the class on a daily basis. So how could this activity address the needs of the learners? These activities that were mentioned would address the needs of the learners because it integrates visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learning methods. It will help them to improve their memory and critical thinking skills, and it will boost their self-confidence because this activity allows them to share their thoughts and ideas to their peers. Social and psychological context of a classroom setting. The activities that was mentioned will help the students to acquire the lesson and retain it over a period of time. Moreover, It will allow them to be more participative in class, and it will also enhance their social skills.
That would be all. Thank you so much for listening.